Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to my day 4 of Python learning journey. And today we are learning how to teach our code to make decisions and repeat tasks, just like we do in real life. So we are diving into if, else, elif statements and loops. So this is where Python starts feeling like magic. Actually, whatever we've learned previously, here is where magic happens, because we are teaching our program on how to repeat tasks, how to make decisions. So today what we are going to build an edge checker. So I built a file in my Python projects called edge checker, and that's what we are going to use today. So the first thing that we are going to do is we ask the user for their age. So remember, we use comments. Comments help the user, or maybe the person who is reading the code, to understand what you're trying to put across. So ask the user for their age. So in this case, we are going to use the input method, or the input function. So we say age, we equate it to. So remember, age is an integer. Integer, we said, is a number. So and then we put our function, which is input, and then let's ask the user their age. So enter your age. So here we are just trying to tell the user to enter their age. And then now let's go to the fun part, which is using the if, elif and else statements. Remember, these conditions, they help the user to make the decision, and also to maybe to repeat the task. So let's say if age is greater so remember, when you're using if, you should never forget the colon. The colon is very important, so make sure you remember to include it. So when we click enter, you see we have an indentation here. So this is a way of telling you that once you use the if statement, you should when you go to the next line, make sure you use an indentation here. So if the age is greater or equal to 18, let's tell the user to say so let's tell the user to say you are an adult. Okay, from there let's use the elif. So elif means else if. So here we are saying elif, which means else if the age is greater than 12, then print. Remember, we said print is a way of telling the computer to say this or to call this. So here we've used the if statement, the elif statement, and elif is used when this condition is not true. So if this person is not 18 years, So let's say you're a teenager. Let's go to the next one is else. The else statement. Remember, the colon is key. Never forget to include colon uh, in your conditional statements. So if this also, when we're using else, it means the if statement, the elif statement, they are not true. So we use this. So we print. So you are a child. Okay, that's amazing. So in this case, let's try to run our program. We see if it can give us the output. So remember, we said you either click Ctrl R or you use this button here which says run your file. So you will see it's telling me to enter my age. Let me say I'm 23. You click enter. So you see it's telling me I'm an adult. That's because the age is greater or equal to 18. Amazing. So in this case, I want to put to explain a bit about this statement here, which means greater or equal to, and this one also means greater. So these ones, they are called operators, comparison operators. So we usually have this one, which is it means equals to. So this one means equals to, and then okay, I wasn't trying to. And then we also have this one, which means not equals to. So when you see something like this, it means not equals to, and this one means equals to. And then we have another one which is the one that we've used, greater or equal to. So this one means greater or equal to. And then we also have another one. We also have another one which means less or equal to. This is how it's less or equals to. So those are called comparison operators, and we've used them in our project here, where we were using the age is greater or equal to 18 and the age is greater than 12. So in this case, we've used, so if, elif, and else, they are called conditional statements. So let's go to the loops. So in loop, let's start a new project. Let's say it's let's call it numbers number. So remember, in Python you should always include the py extension to tell the computer it's a Python program. Okay, so in this case, let's use loop. So we have two types of loop. We have for loop, and also we have the while loop. We have the while loop and for loop. So for loop is used when you know how many times you want to loop or to run your program. Maybe you have a certain number of numbers or a certain number of strings, so you want to loop through them. So you know how many number of times you want to loop, so you use a for loop. While when you want to use a while loop, it is used when you loop until something changes. Okay, it sounds kind of confusing, so let's do it in an example. So in this case, let's say for I I in range 5, remember what we said, never forget a colon. So when you're using either a conditional statement or loops, never forget the colon. It's very important. And when you see, when we click enter, we have our indentation here. So keep in mind that. So in this case, for I in range 5, print print hello I. So in this case, we've used for loop. So let's try to run this program. So in this case, actually it will give us a range from 0 to 4. It means it repeats 5 times. So we know how many times. That's why we've included the 5. So let's run our program. Control R. You see, hello, it starts from 0 all the way to 4. So that's how the for loop works. Let's go to the while loop. And the while loop, we've said it is used when you loop until something changes. Let's take an example of something like count. We say we want to count some numbers here. So we say we equate count to 0. And then we say while count is less than 3. Remember, we've said in our previous we've said this one is a comparison operator. So print repeating count. And then let's say count from so in this case, here we are just trying to tell our program that our count should add 1. Once you start looping, it should add 1 in each case. So let's try to run the program. Let's take this out so that it doesn't interfere. And let's bring this up. Okay, so let's try to run our program. And we run. When we run, you see, it's saying probably there was a typing error ripping. So it has looped from 0, 1 to 2. So when you see here, 3 is not included. So it means when you're looping, the last number or the number that you've included is not repeated in your program. So that's how you use the while loop and the for loop. Yeah, so that was about today. So today we've just used if, elif, else, loops, and while loops. That's actually real power Python. That's how Python actually works. And if you ever wondered how computers make decision or repeat actions, now you know the basics. You can use a for loop to loop over a certain number of numbers or a certain number of strings. And also you can use the while loop to loop over a certain number of words or strings that you don't know the amount. Yeah, don't worry, it feels tricky. Practice is key. That's where the real magic happens. When you start to practice, you will start to understand it. Try building your own edge checker or simple loop program. Yeah, tomorrow we're gonna cover functions which is your first step to writing clean and reusable code. Actually, functions, they are used to write clean and reusable code that you can be able to read and understand. Yeah, see you guys. Make sure you follow, subscribe, and also comment what you think about it, and also hit the like button. Let's grow together. Cheers. See you on the next one.